put it in our...
Hello and welcome everyone to this week's episode of Upon the Hexhamshire Moors. We are live and we're back and adjusting our web cameras to sit right on our desk. But we're going to go around, we're going to say who we are and who we're playing. And I'll start with myself because I'm already talking. I'm Laflove Lindy. We're very happy to be here today, and I will be playing Lady Violet Brazelton, who got stabbed last time we played. 'Twas a time. Also besmirched her reputation a little bit. A little bit of shenanigans.
But if she's dead, then it doesn't matter, right?
But if she's dead, it doesn't matter, so we'll see what happens, because we don't know until we start playing. Unfortunately, our dear Nuggetosaurus has a power outage, and so is hoping that the power will be back soon and can join us, but it really just depends on the grid, so fingers crossed for her. But we do have the person who plays her brother, Charles Way. Yutsai, how are you?
I'm doing great. Yes, hello. My name's Yutsai. I play Charles Way. I am... Gosh, what do I say? It's been a while since we did this.
Who are you playing?
Oh, yeah, Charles Way. I am father to a precocious young Jennifer Chumley. Probably gonna have to change that last name given the recent events. But yes, used to be a hedonist, now trying to be a business person, and when we reach a certain cycle of play, we'll probably spend some fortune points to make that happen.
Wonderful, wonderful. We also have, who we still have is Captain John W. James on the overlay, but we all know it's Roland. Simon, how are you this evening? You are one whole finger. That's awesome.
I am muted, as I will try to be as often as possible because I'm still coughing like crazy.
Oh.
But hi everyone, I'm Simon, at Wandering DM. And yeah, I play well, the person everyone knows is Roland, anyway, because my con has been unveiled, and I can't say more about Roland right now because his fate is it's a little vague, but he doesn't deserve anything bad, and and hopefully the court will agree.
There's a French noble who disagrees.
There is a French noble who disagrees.
Yeah, but he doesn't count.
There's also a Lady Brazelton who agrees because you kind of saved her from being locked in her house. But I'm going to give it to our facilitator for this evening, Trooper, to tell us, first, could you tell us a little bit of something so that I can make this poll for people to vote on, and then you can give us the rest of the recap and such.
First off, I would never give you a something, but perhaps an everything, or an I am Trooper SJP, and I'm the facilitator for Upon the Hexhamshire Moors, and I want to thank you all for joining us for this lovely divertissement, where our assorted protagonists are in the far north of England, up in Hexhamshire, which is a county in Northumberland, and it's a small little town of Barden's Mill of about 500 people, with some very, very wealthy folks. The Queen Mum's family actually is from there, and also a granite quarry, and also mines. So you've got very rich people and very poor people in this small town, all living together in harmony, because that's what it's like in the 1816s. So I'm going to give a little bit of a recap for people who might have just shown up for the first time today. We have a noblewoman, Violet Brazelton, who's from the Brazelton family, who's the most important people in this county, and they have a matrilineal line. And she was having a secret affair with a French, I hate to say this out loud, actor. I know. And who was there, with his sort of theatrical troupe. There was a lot of drama. She also sort of betrayed her best friend and her best friend's brother, their father possibly did a bunch of insurance fraud and murdered a bunch of people in the town by sinking a boat from his big sort of tradespeople. And then there was a lot of insurance money, all of which our French actor stole in order to come up with a new life. That was bad. Anyhow, after faking his own death, our French actor left. And so our Violet had to marry an old serial killer. And sorry,
Yes.
an old noble.
He was a serial killer, though.
Whose wives died mysteriously over and over again. Yes. And so, but he came back as an American captain, but he was found out and arrested. And in our last session, we had his trial, where he was going to be tried, because see what happened was serial killer Bluebeard husband locked up Violet in the home, and so she could not leave because she found out her home, as a matter of fact, because she found out that he maybe killed all his wives awkwardly. And so she was stuck there, and Captain John came to her rescue and punched our 70-something-year-old husband in the face, who then went down like a sack of potatoes and died. So he was put on trial for murder of a noble.
Yep.
And we had a very big trial. And in that trial, a number of things happened. One, it is too early for people to consistently have defense lawyers. He did have one, but they aren't allowed to actually make full cases. Not yet, legally.
He did his best.
He did his best. People from Roland's past came back and let everybody know that he was a liar and a cheat, so that was bad. In the process, one of the townspeople stabbed Our Lady Violet with a stake because they thought that maybe she was a vampire. She said that she was pregnant, although she's not, as far as we know, in order to sort of, and that, Roland's the father, in order to maybe try to spare his life. There was a stabbing, there was shenanigans, there was dramatics, and we are in a moment where when we left off at the end of that novel phase,
so the question is, yes,
the judge and the sheriff and the defense lawyer went off to have drinks to decide what they were going to do in terms of how they're going to sentence Roland, because again, it's an old boys network and they're all friends. They all hang out in the same country club. So they're just going to decide what happens. And Violet is being carried off by it turns out, her brother, because Charles Way, it turns out, is actually her half brother. And he's carried her off to try to get her saved so she does not die. Whereas Hattie, our fourth member, who is currently suffering from a lack of power, she left. She didn't go to the trial because her husband was involved in. He had to go to an uprising and got injured because he's with the dragoons, and so she had to go off to one of these places where she will see what it's like in the 1816s for poor people in cities, and the answer is bad. And she will be forever impacted by that, I would say. So I believe we have a poll.
What happens to Roland? We have some options. I'm going to read them out before I post them, because Twitch only allows so much text per poll option. So
I see.
We have some options for Roland based on the jury, Gilles, and the defense lawyer. The very expensive, good defense lawyer.
Yes.
Who laid some smackdown on that French guy, which was great for the English people in the room at the time.
I feel like we're attacking Simon right now, and that seems really rude. Although he's Canadian, so I think it's fine. Right? I mean, I feel like it doesn't even count.
Look, this was Regency England. They're all like, boo, France. So,
They really did boo a lot of people, to be honest.
That's fair. That's very, very fair.
And they were like, rules, Britannia rules the waves. They were like, yeah. They were.
Yeah. What are options for what happens to Roland? House arrest. Has a little stint in the Tower of London. He hangs. He's forced to take responsibility for his actions, i.e., possible alleged child, or he goes on the run. Those are the 5 options we have. The poll will last for 10 minutes, so get your votes in now.
I mean, I also want to know whether or not Lady Violet dies.
Well, that is an interesting question, isn't it?
It is.
Is.
I'm not going to vote in what happens to Roland because I feel like that would be
think that's
cheating.
fair. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
cheating.
hold on, I need to pull up my 10 alt accounts. Be right back.
Now, when we last left off, a little to let ourselves know where we all are. We are at the end of the 3rd cycle of play. We have we're at the passage of time, and good old Nugget is lost to hurricanes, and also
it's not a hurricane, it's just a storm.
Time warps, time vortexes. But she did say that she did weigh in on how much time should pass between this cycle and the last. So we have, in the passage of time, one of the first things we have to do is decide how much time is going to pass between the end of that trial and when we pick back up. And we have the choice of going anywhere between 4 to 10 years. And our assembled gentles have decided on 5 years. So we will be moving forward to 1821 as the time and place where we will be. Also, technically, I believe our regency has ended. It ends in 1820, the regency, generally speaking.
Generally speaking.
Yes. So that's pretty exciting. It's a year of joy and pleasantry. Not really, because we still don't actually have a decent legal system. But I don't believe we have income tax at this point in time until later. So that's fun, probably. What else do we have to do in this cycle? So we have our passage of time. It'll be about 4 to 10 years. And so one of the things we need to do in the passage of time is that each person gets to have one scene and one vignette that will let people know, to sort of be indicative of what has happened between this time and next, because after we finish our passage of time, people will do their upkeep, which might include spending fortune points to change their background and fortune, or of them or one of their connection characters. And for the passage of time, you can do one of 4 things. You may have a weather interlude. You may have a senior vignette about a rumor coming true, including a changing fortune. And changing fortunes don't have to be spread in order for them to come true. You can have a scene or vignette about your character's inner conflict, or you can pay a resolve token to have a senior vignette about something else of your own choosing. And before any of my players say what they will do next, I will note that our gentlemen, Charles and Roland, have not yet had their monologues. They've not yet monologued this cycle, so please note it is going to happen. Note it. And let me see. Lindy, you have not yet spent your monologue token.
I have not.
Neither has Simon or me. Yes. So that all said, I just thought I'd ask: do one of you have a scene or vignette you'd like to do? Not Simon. I'm just saying that because the poll hasn't happened yet.
That is correct.
The poll has not yet ended for him. But by the way, we have a poll to find out what's going to happen to our person who was on trial for murder.
Murder. It's about halfway through.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like Charles should go first.
Oh.
Because we don't know if you're alive or dead yet, Violet.
That is fair.
Yes. Unless you want to tell us.
Well, I did have an idea.
Well, then please, by all means.
That will give Charles an extra moment to think about it. So I, passage of time, I get to do a scene or vignette. I would like a scene.
And you must do one of each. One scene, one vignette.
Scene or a vignette. I want to do one about a rumor coming true, including a changing.
Yes, yes. Would you like this be a scene or a vignette?
What's the difference between a scene and a vignette?
A scene is a full-on scene with people chatting with each other. Yes,
yes
and a vignette sort of like a montage. Like
I think this is I think this is a vignette then.
Please, please, please. And what, if you might, is the rumor coming true?
Oh, it's delicious.
Is it?
Yes, it's a fortune.
Set the scene.
Yes, so I'm going to use. Do you want me to say which fortune or rumor I use first, or to set the scene first?
Set the scene first.
All right, so
because you have a whole full 5 years to play with.
Yes. This isn't terribly long after the events of the trial. You see Violet in her bed. I know this could go a lot of ways. Unconscious. Breathing
wait, I'm
shallow.
sorry.
Yes.
Could you use the word unconscious rather than sleeping? And I'm just wanting to clarify.
Yes, unconscious.
I see. Go on.
With a bad fever.
Oh.
Pale, pallid,
like
sallow cheeks. Vampires generally don't look as sickly. They just look.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, she was stabbed.
Yes.
At the trial, and sometimes people get stabbed and they're okay. But if she hadn't had stood up and tried to save Roland, she wouldn't have gotten stabbed in the first place. And you see the doctor there checking in day after day after day. Her Abigail, her nursemaid, getting some broth in her. She seems to have gotten an infection from the wound, and the fortune I'm using is Violet will suffer for saving Roland. I don't think she's ever quite as healthy after that bad infection. She's just a bit more delicate. She eventually does recover, but she can't do as much as she used to.
Might I
Infections were really bad in the 1800s.
They were very bad.
She was probably out of commission for about 6 months, with on and off fever and in and out of consciousness.
Which fortune is this?
This is the fortune, the bottom one. Violet will suffer for saving Roland.
Oh.
I know.
And she suffers greatly, I assume. Just there, just all pale,
very sickly, hardly
very
keeps going down.
sickly.
Yeah, infection. Because a lot of times you went to kind of like a comatose state with a fever, as they weren't great at relieving fevers.
They could bleed you.
Medicine was yes, that's so helpful. Medicine was amazing in the Regency era. Let me tell you what. Especially when you had an infection, it's probably a miracle she survived.
Yes. Oh. So I'm imagining, what is the weather like as you're there in your estate?
Ooh, what the weather like? I think it is rainy, gloomy.
Mm-hmm. And the only people we see in this sort of moment of montage is the doctor and your lady's maid.
The doctor, yeah, probably in and out, probably trying to keep people out so that she needs her rest. And if she wasn't in such a fragile state, they'd recommend sending her to the coast, to the ocean, But right now, she's just too delicate.
She's too delicate.
And moving her from this room could kill her.
My goodness.
Yes, I know. It's tragic.
I have one.
Oh.
It's a vignette. Yes. I believe I'm going to have to give Jennifer a resolve token since it does involve her.
Does it really? What about
Yes.
Jennifer?
Just a bit of a montage over the years of her getting lessons from her grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so very much like, but not like Angel of the Opera.
We have our poll result as well. Just
Do we?
so you know, we
Ew.
do. I also did in our Zoom chat.
Oh yes. He must take responsibility, which is going to have to involve restitution, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Also, I imagine that means that young Rafferty does not like him very much.
Probably not. Imagine it's restitution to the Raffertys.
Yes, yes.
Rather than the Brazeltons, even though I'm the widow.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to say that there will be like a montage of young Jennifer getting business lessons from her grandpapa, and
Be as cutthroat as possible.
yes, yes, indeed. Just like good secret, good grandpapa, like a very good grandfather, very grandfatherly, very warm and affectionate and cuddly and be cutthroat sort of lessons is what I would say happens there. That would be my little vignette.
I think that's fun.
Yes, just a little,
Good for her to
keeping-
get some business.
yes, and loyalty to her grandpapa. And just, also, you've got to take care of people who are not for you. If people are not for you, they must be taken care of. Cutthroat business, in business and in life.
Yes.
Yes. Also, revenge is great. Just so you know it. Lots of revenge. It's a lovely thing. I'm in favor of it, says Grandpapa. That's my little vignette. Anyone else? Oh, please, by the way, take that.
I gave it to her, yes.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I have a
else?
weather interlude.
Give it to me.
It is at dawn, or slightly before it, and Charles is in his office doing some work for the business that he runs with his sister Hattie. He's expecting someone to show up. He has an appointment made, though it is relatively early even for him, though good habits from years of practice. That's made for a good habit. And so he's just scrawling on papers, and he's finished with a flourish of his signature. And he is pondering about the recent events, all the excitement, and thinking about when he was younger, how he wished there was more excitement in the area. But the older he gets, the more he realizes that, like, sometimes just a day is a good thing, just a normal day. There's a knocking on the door, and we see a young Samuel Croft.
Oh.
Yes, Samuel Crafton.
She's
And
what's he
his
look like?
I had him as a
But
just
now
a-
he's 15 now.
he is 15 now.
Somewhere in there, right?
Right.
Depending on when you have this interlude.
I made him up, but technically he's played by Simon. Should I describe or should Simon?
Simon. Well, also, when in the 5 years does this take place?
I like to think like relatively early on, maybe after a year or so.
Okay. So he's probably 11 or so at this point.
Yeah, before 15. Did we ever describe Samuel Crafton?
Young,
eager.
Yeah, but like physically, I don't think we ever
No,
did.
I don't think
Never
so.
settle on. It just
All right.
imagines Simon but younger.
Wow, you don't want that. Yeah, don't. Okay, so Samuel Crafton is, we said 11?
Yes, he should be about 11 at this point.
All right. So he's kind of a blonde Rupert Grint
Mhm,
when he
Mhm.
started in Harry Potter. So like
mhm,
this sort of very cheerful face,
Mhm.
but also a little mischievous. Um, his hair has been just cut in that weird sort of half bowl cut, half sort of like medieval.
Yeah.
It was all the rage in the Middle Ages of
Yep. Like the
the
page
villain,
boy.
the
Yeah.
page boy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it's a mix between the two. And he started to, with puberty fast approaching, he's like breaking out in red
Oh.
rashes a
Oh.
little. And his
Oh.
voice has started to crack. Um and we'll say for the sake of this character that his mother is still sick.
Mhm, mhm.
She probably has something that will
Linger.
linger forever.
Yes.
Something like tuberculosis
Or black lung.
Yeah.
black lung
Yeah.
disease. Yeah. Well, I mean, but black lung, she would kind of have had to work in the mines, and I don't think she would have.
Well, they had little kids carrying buckets in and out of the mines. Like people were very young and died. Like they're all these.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
kids.
it's the mom who's sick.
I know, but she might have been working her whole life. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like when she was a
Mhm,
kid. I
mhm.
see.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
I'm just saying, healthcare was so great.
Oh, yeah. And when seen outside, because of course I can do this because we're in the 19th century.
Mhm.
He has this off-white long-sleeved shirt under a gray buttoned-up vest, like sleeveless vest, and
Yes.
that little newsboy cap on his head. And all I need is like a bucket and like a chimney sweeper, and then it's like perfect.
Now, I will say, technically, because of my class, careerist, my because I have so many positive tags.
Yes.
This is a contact I made that is like is super like on my side, won't betray me and such. So I'm not sure if that helps
that
inform
works.
your role playing.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
He's basically from your like a second pair of hands or something.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Yeah. Okay.
Samuel, you're here. Good.
Hi, Governor.
Not a governor, but we'll work on that. Did you bring your mother like I asked you to? Is she waiting outside?
Okay. She's waiting in the carriage outside.
Perfect.
She is.
Now, Simon,
What?
come over here.
Samuel, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Samuel.
I can't believe
get
that
over
you
here.
butchered my name after all these years of toil for you, sir.
You look like a Simon. It's a brave, strong name. Samuel, go ahead, take a seat. And I push her in to take a seat in front of the desk. I sit on top of the desk kind of casually. Now, Samuel, you've worked for me for many years now.
I did, sir, I did.
Tell me, do you like working for me?
More than anything in the world, sir.
What do you think about my daughter?
Oh, I don't know what to say about your daughter, sir. But I bet she's as fantastic as you are.
Nodding. You see,
and you can see that like he's got stuff that he wants to say,
right?
As an 11-year-old boy,
right?
But you're his boss.
Yeah, and he's smart enough not to say it, which is good. Samuel, I am not going to be around forever. And I like to think that if you keep working for me, you're going to make something of yourself someday. And when I'm not around, I'd like there to be someone around who can look after my daughter. Do you think that's something you could help me do?
Of course, sir. I would be honored to help your daughter after your. But does that mean you're sick, sir? Should I be concerned? Do you need anything?
Hand up. No, I'm not sick. Make the appropriate good luck charms over my chest. There's not even a rumor about me being sick. Nary a fortune told about me being sick.
Not yet.
Oh, just you wait, sir.
Look you, pointing at the camera. So Samuel,
Oi.
I'm going to make you a deal, and we know, and you know how what I taught you about deals, right? If you keep your end and I keep my end, then everyone's happy.
Oi. And I will do my best to keep my end.
I am going to hire your mother, give her some light work, but it should be work enough that she'll spend her days in a satisfying manner, and she should be able to take care of her own self, be able to pay for the medicine she needs to make her life easier, put food on her table.
That's mighty generous of you, sir.
In return, I'd like to adopt you, Samuel.
What?
I think you can make something of yourself, Samuel. And when I'm gone, someone has to stay behind and look after all of this. And flashback to thinking of my own terrible father. Flash forward. I'd like to be around to help ease you into how life works, rather than to be thrown and have to learn the hard way when there's not a lot of time to make mistakes.
Oh, I don't know what to say, sir. Except that I think Mum would say yes. I would. I mean, since Papa, died to the demon of alcohol. I haven't had I haven't had anyone to show me the world, how it works, as it were. I only learn what I can from you already.
Yes. I'm not going to make you change your name. There's importance and there are power to names, as I myself would know best. So,
okay.
Samuel,
But I would if you asked me, I think.
Well, that's a choice you'll have to make, Samuel. I stand up and I hold out my hand in a very professional, businessy way. Do we have a deal?
Yes, sir. And like he's gonna clasp your hand.
I take the adoption papers that I have filled out on my side from the desk that I was filling out this morning. Then let's go talk to your mother.
Oh, all right, sir. Just I have one question.
Sure.
Actually, I have two. Now that I think of it. Do I have to call you Da?
You can keep calling me whatever you've been calling me, both in front of me and behind my back.
Oh, I wouldn't dream to talk behind your back, sir. And my other question is just out of pure curiosity. But does that make Jenny my sister?
Yes. That's why I asked if you liked her or cared about her. I need someone who would make sure she's well looked after I'm gone. And I can't think of anyone better to do that than a brother.
Hi, sir. I'll be your brother.
I know exactly what I'm doing. Charles may not, though. Charles may have an inkling that there might be something there, but
it's okay, sir. I have read this nice book about a very united family called the Lannisters, and I will.
That's my daughter you're talking about. Slap. All right, and then I put a hand behind Samuel's back, and we walk out to go talk to his mother about proceeding with the adoption.
Oh, interesting. All right. Okay. Simon.
God damn it.
Vignette or a scene for you or any of your characters.
Do I?
Yes. I don't know.
I was gonna say,
up to.
Do I
Mr.
wait?
Forced to take responsibility.
Well, that's the thing.
Anywhere within those 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
How many How many scenes do we have total?
You get two
Two.
total.
One scene, one vignette.
Okay, so I can. Oh shoot.
Well, it says a scene or a vignette, so I think you could do either. It says right there. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Like,
Well, you
one
have
of
to do
each.
both. You have to do one of each.
It doesn't say that.
Okay.
It doesn't.
How dare this cycle of play cheat sheet not match up to the rules?
All right. But do I want to do a roll on first? Okay. I'll start with another character because I'll leave roll on
How dare you?
the side for a sec.
How dare you.
I
love
mean,
it.
if I
love
can,
it. I love
if
it.
I can torture Lindy even more.
You can,
Um,
and you should.
So, but it's one of my characters. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You play what's their face?
The inspector.
Inspector
and
Gridley.
Also
Yeah.
Samuel.
Okay, I think I have. I'll leave Samuel on the wayside for now, sir.
For the moment.
So
For the
Inspector
moment.
Gridley it is. Does he get the scene or the vignette?
He's going to get. What's the one with the weather interlude?
Mm-hmm. But as a scene or a vignette.
But I think it's going to be just as a vignette.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
Oh, and it needs to be like a dark and stormy night
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
of just Gridley unsatisfied by the outcome of the trial.
Mm.
And, you know, as a man of the law,
Mhm.
Inspector Gridley has this. Well, we're not going to say it's an obsession, but let's leave it there. Like, let's just, you know, open it up to the
Yeah.
possibility. But I mean, so Roland has committed several crimes.
It's true. Including plagiarism.
And identity theft.
Yeah, and also faking one's death. And then just blatant theft, period.
Probably also tax fraud.
And murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not
Accidental
forget
murder.
murder.
And
Homicide, I guess. I don't know.
and honestly, he was just saved by Violet, which clearly Lady Violet Brazelton would never have said any of the insane things she spouted during the trial. It's got to be because Roland has some sort of grip over her.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's true.
Yeah. Not just the grip of love. Sure. Surely not.
So, he's poring over any piece of information he had that he's trying to get from outer seas.
Mm-hmm.
To, if we can't nail Roland here, can we get him to trial in the States? Can we extradite him and have him hang in the States?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you know, these, you can barely see the sort of dark interior of the inspector's office, briefly lit by the flashes of lightning from outside, as like heavy rain just splashes against his window, drowning out any noise whatsoever that there could be inside. And it's just him shuffling papers and building slowly but surely this conspiracy board.
Yes. I love that.
And he just mutters it like, he will pay. He
Oh.
has to pay. Everyone needs to obey the law. No one except the king, queen, depending on where we are in the time
Royalty.
skip.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the king.
It's still the king?
Yep.
Okay, good. No one save the king is above the law. And maybe Jesus.
Mm-hmm. I am very excited for things right about now. That gives us our second round. Vignettes and or scenes.
Can I go
Yes, you may.
Yes.
with Roland?
Yes.
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
it's going to be in that recent period after the trial where, he is still all elated by the outcome of
You're not
of the
dead.
trial. I'm not dead.
It's
I have a
great.
quick question. A quick question before you go on. Is this about a rumor coming true? It's about your inner conflict, or is it a weather interlude, or is it?
Well, that's
a
what I need
different
to check.
If
Yeah.
it's something if it's something other than those three, you have to pay a resolve token for it. You should bleed those resolve tokens from you.
Sure. I might need to burn a resolve token because it is part of my inner conflict. I just don't know how much. But it also resolves technically my immediate desire.
Oh.
Or it would, because the scene begins with, and I might need you, Lindy, on it too.
Well, it is a scene and not a vignette, so.
Yes.
Yeah, so it begins with the doors of Brazelton Manor swinging open.
Spin the resolve token. Spin the resolve token, because that's neither inner conflict, I think, nor rumor. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead.
I've already taken out the resolve token. So Roland just comes in, arms full of papers and little notebooks, and he says,
"When is this?"
Like I said, within the year after the trial.
Okay.
Honey, I'm home.
I imagine she's sick and suffering greatly at this moment.
He
she's probably
walks up to.
Yeah, if it's within the first year, but after the first 6 months, then perhaps she might be in I'm sure they have a sunroom for those nice days. She's probably in there with like a blanket on like a couch and a book.
I have news.
You do. What's the news?
As you know, I just came back from the city.
Yes.
Because you need some exposition.
Yes.
And I have talked with several doctors in London, some of whom might be willing to come and take a look at you up here. And so we wouldn't have to move you anywhere. I have also on and he like fumbles with the papers on a side matter. I have looked at florists and other flower shops. I think it would be good to change the air of this place a bit and give you some colors to look at. Also, if, when the time comes, we could hire them for other floral arrangements.
I think she doesn't get it quite at first because she's just like thinking about like the doctors. She's still processing that first sentence, and then you just stuck the florist right in there.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Oh, I suppose it would be good not to have to move anywhere, though. I had been thinking perhaps about going to the coast at some point. But I'm not quite well enough for that. Yes, that'd be good. And flowers, that's very sweet of you. Flowers." And then it hits. Couldn't hire them for other things. Oh, yes, I suppose as soon as I'm well enough, we do need to do that step.
Well, I mean, I do not want to push you or anything. I do owe you my life. You have my heart in more than one sense.
You have mine. I'm just thankful that, well, the things that I said and did were able to get you off of the hook, and I don't know what I would have done if I had to lose you a second time.
It would be the end of me, quite literally.
I feel like this is time for a monologue.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like, how I feel like.
Yeah, you got a monologue, Roland.
Yeah, I can monologue, but I already have my monologue token.
You give your token. You have.
Oh yeah, if I want to hear.
Cycle.
So yeah. Who's giving me their token?
Trooper.
I will do so.
I mean, I can do it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to. Yeah, sure. I'll give it to you. Here. Take my monologue token.
I take it.
Monologue.
I eat it. Internally, Roland is just, I hope that she gets better. I hope for her sake, mostly, that she gets better. If we have to forsake the entire wedding so she can get back on her feet, I will. I would pay any price. I also need to make sure that I don't overdo it. It is not my fortune. And I don't want to be seen as the person who, brings the downfall of the Brazelton. High society is such full of traps and problems. I hate it. I hate it so much. But... And he just looks at her and, like, the words just evaporate. There's no thought. Head empty.
She'll just, like, pat the seat next to her. Like the chair.
Oh, he's there faster than you can blink.
Why don't we look at some of those papers you have?
Oh, these are just brief cookies of the floral arrangements, and he, like, will spread them on like your blanket.
I'd like to see. It would be a pleasant change from, and look at whatever. Has Jane Austen written things yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's probably like, oh, let's pick a good one. I mean, Pride and Prejudice, I mean, it works, but it doesn't. I think this has to be a Sense and Sensibility moment.
We'll get there for you.
So she'll set down the Jane Austen book she's reading, and look over the floral arrangements. Did you have any colors in mind?
Several, but I've marked them on, and you can see, like, there's. So he basically drew all of these.
Yes.
And, like, in pale, in, like, what would be the margin, you have, like, the list of the flowers. I didn't write the colors, but I know what they look like. I can tell you that these here would be this is an arrangement of whites
and of them have forget-me-nots.
Yes, I do, because it's the game we're using. And we had to plug it. But yes, I have some in more like pink in this one here, and then he shuffles and he's like, and here are the blues. I mean, if you wanted to have something that
they're violets, I like that. Forget-me-nots, violets. Let's see, lilies. That's quite a nice one. I think we should go with that.
Good. I will place an order.
Thank you. I just wish I could do more to help you with this, but I've just been so tired.
You have done more than you can ever think of, he says, taking her hand.
Well, I'm glad you think so. Your opinion is the one that matters most to me.
I thank you. But rest now. Go sleep. I will take care of everything. Are you hungry?
Not particularly, but I probably should eat something. I think Abigail said something about lamb earlier today.
Ooh, lamb. I will go check in the kitchens.
Thank you.
Ooh, somebody's got to get a new short-term desire. Next scene.
I have one.
Yes, I believe it's a scene for you. Yes.
Yes, it is.
You had a
scene.
vignette. Yes.
Yes, I did have a vignette. So, if this scene involves Charles, and if it's all right, because we're rich, Regency noble-ish types, we take vacations about once a year.
Is this a vignette about a rumor coming true?
Let me look.
Inner conflict. Whether include or do you need to pay a resolve token?
Oh, let me look. What's my inner conflict again?
Mm.
Heart versus duty. Ooh.
If it's inner conflict, it's going to be you getting a check mark on one of those sides.
Yes, I'm looking. Oh. Yeah, I think if I tried hard enough, it could be, but let's say no. I have resolve tokens to spend. Because I don't know how Charles is going to react, so
Fair.
it could be, but I don't know yet. So I'll spend the resolve token. So I imagine that we're at a beach, at like a beach house, because it's good for the health, and this is near the 5-year mark. It's probably about year 4.5, and Violet has invited Charles and his family to come to the beach house as well. It's probably a lovely summer day, Would get out of the city in the fresh air.
I need to ask you a question before you go any further.
Yes.
And I need to ask this question pretty heavily. Simon, resolve tokens is what you spend for your seeds, fortune tokens for all of your business. Here's what I'm going to ask you. Everybody in town knows that you were pregnant, back in 1816.
Yes.
It is now 4 years later, and I'm going to ask you a question about whether you have children.
See, this is you don't have to ask because it's going to come up in the scene.
Well, how lovely then. Please, go on.
You don't even have to ask, Trooper. I'm already there.
I feel like we're too psychically connected, but the villagers want to know. But go on.
Yes. So, she has invited, the Ways, and probably the Altringhams as well, all down to this very nice beach estate, seaside estate, probably near York or something, because we don't have to go all the way south to get some beach.
Yes, of course.
Some fresh sea air, and
you say it's about like 1820?
Yeah, probably like late 1820, like the summer of 1820.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, and Violet made sure that everyone had business elsewhere. For like a certain type of one day, except for Charles, and she wants to corner her brother. Imagine there was some more digging into that. People. And she'll say, Charles, I'm so glad you could come to the seaside.
I have to thank you for the invitation. It's been a hard year, so a bit of a break is always welcome.
We all need a break every now and then. And she's probably like sitting in a chair still with a couple blankets, an eternal cup of tea. Please have a seat. There is something that I wanted to discuss with you that unfortunately isn't as, vacation and free time oriented as I would like. But it is something I felt should be discussed.
Brow furrows, but takes a seat, curious.
She'll pour you a cup of tea as well. And
no, I'm nervous.
Oh, I'm so excited. So Jenny has been growing up quite well lately.
That's what I hear.
Yes.
From others, at least.
Yes, so she's been quite the nice young lady. And that Roland and I I've not been of the best health since the courtroom incident, and I was wondering, since we are of blood relation, that if I'm unable to have any children by the time Jenny's 16, you would allow me to adopt her and make her the Braselton heir.
Doesn't say anything for a while, gives it pause. A technique he picked up from Hattie to not say anything stupid immediately after hearing something. Can I ask what brought this proposal on? Concerns from Roland, or?
Mostly myself, honestly. I've not quite mentioned it to Roland. I wanted to ask you first, since it concerns you more than it does him. It's not for lack of trying. Just haven't had any children yet, and, well, it's a bit concerning, and well, you are technically family, and I love you and Hattie both dearly, and, well, it would be good for Violet, possibly. There's a lot comes with the Braselton estate, so...
Estate and name aside, these past few years have definitely been difficult between me and her mother. Different parenting styles, different determinations on what's best for our daughter. And I must admit, as a father, I am reluctant to let go for something as even for a name and estate, but that's a bit... This is funny because it actually kind of plays into what I was going to do for my vignette. So, yeah, foreshadowing.
And I figured Barton's Mill is quite small, so you would still see her all the time. I wouldn't dare take her away from you. She would just move estates.
Laughs, shakes head. Jenny is not as much mine as she is everyone, or it would be more accurate to say everyone belongs to Jenny. When she chooses it, she seizes the folk around town, their time, their attention, as she is growing up to be a very, very fearless young lady, which I must thank you for as well. You've had a great influence on her. As to your original proposal, and there is this
right away. You can think about it.
I hold up my hand, and you do see that there's like this age of like only like 30ish years old, but has gone through a lot of like heartache, a lot of like hard decisions, a minor bit of what he thought was hysteria regarding the ghost of his father, and he's still not sure about that. But it's been a while since that, so
especially since your daughter now writes some of her letters the way that your father did.
Yeah, it's like that's a little concerning. But I have a business meeting, so I need to address that later. I think it would be good for her. Yes. I'll talk to Sophia about it, but you have my support in this matter. And more importantly, I will talk to Jenny about it and see how she feels.
Thank you. And there's still a few years' time before, and that would happen regardless, but I just wanted to put it in your mind. Thank you.
And as you are there, I would note, she said it's the summer, yes?
Yes.
Of 1820?
Yes. That sounded like a nice time to get to the seaside, pull them away, ask about some inheritance questions, the huge.
Sure. Sounds very pleasant.
Yeah.
King George died beginning of the year.
Tragic. Yes.
And yes, the beginning of the year. His son, King George IV, has not yet been crowned. There's quite a lot of unrest. And when I say unrest, I mean just last month, in May, a number of people were beheaded. Conspirators were going to try to murder the entire cabinet and also the prime minister and have a revolution, French style. Because a lot of people are not doing well. A lot of people are not doing well. There's a lot of unrest. A lot of people don't like King George because he's a bit of a hoe. All
right.
There is, and I'm just going to bring this up not for any particular reason, but King George is married to Princess Caroline, now Queen Consort. And I'm just going to note this because this is where we're at in 1820, and we're going to pick back up in 1821 where these things are still having a problem. And he was illegally married to somebody secretly. I know you know nothing about that sort of a thing.
I have no idea.
Yes. Woman.
I was only engaged secretly.
Yes.
Didn't get wed.
He married this woman illegally, and Maria Fitzherbert, but that marriage was illegal. because one, his father did not approve, which makes the marriage completely illegal.
Yes.
And B, she was Roman Catholic, and so
Oh,
it
goodness.
was not a legally valid marriage, and so he had to marry Princess Caroline. They married in the 1890s, and many of the British public love Princess Caroline, Queen Caroline, love her, think that she's great, and think that he is a bit of a drunken lout who runs around cheating on her all the time with his secret marriages and engagements. And at this moment, as you speak, she has just returned to England from Italy, and the king is refusing to speak to her or acknowledge her or see her as queen, and there are riots in the streets at this moment. Yes. So I just want you to know that there are people, like conspirators have been beheaded, and there's a bit of a war going on in Scotland, and the queen has returned to England, and the king refuses to acknowledge her, and everybody in England is taking sides about it. There is a lot of disruption. I just want you to know that, because that's happening while you're hanging out at York, because everybody has an opinion. Just noting it.
Oh, wonderful.
Just
Thank you.
unrest that might, visit you all at some point. Go on.
I think that was seen.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. And if it wasn't, I'm so sidetracked now, I couldn't even remember where we picked up.
I would like to offer Simon a result token.
Oh, what for?
I would
Because
like.
I'm already flush with resolve tokens.
I thought
Well,
you
you
were
just-
going to offer Yutsai a monologue token after that whole question.
Oh, I do have one left.
Ew.
I
And
think
he
I
has
shall.
not monologued yet this
He has not monologued. Then I shall. Well, okay, I could use it now, or I could use it later.
I
But-
do
Well,
have
because
the
otherwise I
vignettes,
still
though.
have mine.
Yes. I will wait. I would like to give a resolve token to Simon, because this will screw over Roland a little bit. I would like papers to come in to Inspector Gridley.
Oh God.
With handwriting and evidence that it was Roland who cashed in those insurance claims on all those dead Barden's Mill folks.
Sure.
Oh, that was easy. So this is a vignette with Inspector Gridley, right? Where perhaps he's in London. And a runner sort of comes up to him and goes, Inspector, we got the man the clerk. We got the clerk that paid out all that money on the insurance claims. You see a clerk come and he goes, ooh, I was told I was supposed to tell you. Yeah, it's the new Lord Braselton, that's who it was, but a different name then. But I recognize his face. And like there's like a ledger with like signatures and payouts and like copies of all of these insurance claims with a witness signatures pointing to Roland having cashed those in. Handed over to Gridley.
I know what I'm going to do with it. Don't worry.
Well, I just want to know how Gridley responds in his obsession.
Oh, I mean, he thinks that's what's going to nail him.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
I just want to imagine at that moment where Gridley has like all of this evidence now of something super sketch, but like we can like slide over to a scene of Roland and Violet being super happy together. Just, like nothing will ever break this like joy we have together sort of moment. Whereas Gridley's down in London with books. Yes. Charles.
Hello.
It is you. You have a vignette or a scene.
Yes, it's time for a family meeting. Sophia. So I am hoping to do a vignette of my character's inner conflict.
Do it.
Uh,
Give yourself that check mark how you wish.
Sorry?
Because you get to have a check mark in one of those boxes.
I'm not sure which box you're referring to. Sorry.
For your inner conflict. Maybe this is the one.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
It is, if this were weather and alluded, be overcast because this is very difficult. Family meetings. There is the two couches on both sides of a coffee table set up, and then in the set on one end is Jennifer. And effectively, it's a private meeting to discuss and hash out what is to become of this family. Because there are certain things that people want and certain things that people don't want, and they need to find a resolution. Otherwise, everyone loses, is effectively. So Charles has arranged this, and he's effectively stated, look, I believe that Jennifer should decide what she wants to do. And if that is to go with you, I will accept that. However, there will be a place for her, and I would like for her to come to visit. Charles is willing to give up the one himself to benefit both his ex-wife and his child. He's already said, all the rumors don't bother me. I've already been the butt of many jokes in my old days. All that will eventually fade with time. However, we need to figure out how to make this work, because if we don't, no one's going to be happy. There is one thing he cannot budge on, and that is he will not remarry his ex-wife. That's his that's his line in stone. Just out of principle, out of his own personal feelings, he can't give himself to a fake marriage he doesn't believe in. So that I guess that's his one thing that he'll do for himself. But everything else he's willing to give up on, because he does believe sincerely that his ex-wife does care for their daughter, and he doesn't think that going with his ex-wife would like ruin her. Like, it'll definitely take him out of the equation. And there's a certain jealousy and a certain kind of one night is where it's only I can provide for my daughter the best way I know how. But I think he's also realized, as he's matured with Hattie and meeting all these things and seeing people stabbed in front of him, that there are other people. He's not like a main character in life. There are other people who can do a lot of good for his daughter. Which is why I was like, oh, that's funny you bring that up, because I was contemplating this earlier for my vignette. So I'm hoping, and I guess I would offer a resolve token to my ex-wife. I don't think I need to offer one to Jennifer, but I will if I need to. But I liked her for us to be on good terms. But mainly I want her to let Jennifer decide what she wants to do.
Interesting.
I wonder what Sophia St. Clair thinks about the Braselton proposal.
Well,
that is the timing of that is also interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You would be offering resolve token to have her be okay with Jennifer deciding.
Because because the way she presented herself was she was much more concerned about her family name or her own reputation rather than him or perhaps her daughter. So I don't know how self-centered she is as a person or a character. So if I need to, I'll give her a resolve token, because that should justify the action then.
I'm going to counter.
Okay.
Rather than you giving Sophia a resolve token, because she is there at this meeting. And I think she walks in with, I would like her to walk in with a doctor. And I would like to cash in on the rumor someone is driving Charles mad. And have her say, I would like her to have a doctor who could testify that Charles is not of sound mind, and so that Jennifer should be given to her.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Now, is it my understanding that this doctor has been bought off?
I've got a rumor
It's a
that says
rumor.
that someone has been driving Charles mad, and so people do absolutely believe it.
Oh, but yeah, I'm asking about the reality of the situation.
Um,
I'm wondering. So, am I believing I'm okay, but I am like slightly off
Oh,
kilter,
that's
or
how you are is up to you. But I would
okay?
say that this doctor would testify.
Well, you are cashing in on the rumor, so
I am, but you can yes and or no or but.
I'd like to yes and you because I think that's an interesting development. Doctor's brought in.
And the doctor was like, "Oh well, we have been following his behavior. And we have had multiple reports of him hearing voices, and such a thing is not a good environment for a child. I feel like we can have this taken to authorities, but I feel like perhaps it would not be good for your reputation or your daughter's life. And to contest this, if you allow her mother to take her and, of course, provide her with compensation, every yearly compensation, then I think we can take care of this in a quiet way, considering your fragile mental health."
So she's asking for a payoff and custody of the daughter.
Yes, she is.
I would like to counter by using a rumor as well.
Please
Ooh.
do. I'm very excited for this.
While this is being hashed out, Charles would eventually, essentially, it kind of like stalls out the talks for a bit.
Yep.
I'm going to use the rumor Jennifer ran away after the fight between her parents in the tavern. And given her increased independence from granddad, I think she runs away from the entire city and no one can find her. Like a few years pass and
that
no one knows
that
where
you have
she
to
is.
that you have to ask Lindy for that one.
Yes.
But-
But wait. Yes, but only if she knows about the Braselton proposal, so she can make her own decision on her own time, so she can pop back in when she turns 16 to see what's up.
Mhm.
I like that. I like
Mhm.
that. It's
Mhm.
very like
Gives her
It al-
options, you know?
it also invites like the missing heir, Jennifer
Yes,
Chumley.
Uh-huh.
yes, the missing heir
Mhm.
Jennifer Chumley, absolutely.
Yes,
Uh,
and also yeah, effectively bigger fight.
Yes.
Jennifer isn't dumb. She understands what's going on.
Yeah.
She doesn't like any of her options, I'm assuming. I guess you would speak for Jennifer,
Yeah.
Violet.
There's this big drawing room, right?
She
At the
ran away
Chumley estate.
once. She has been getting talks on independence and business, and so this way, she runs away from Barden's Well. She leaves the town.
Can I offer a result token?
What would that be for?
I as a facilitator have no resolve tokens, but
Yes.
I have a connection character who does have one.
Yes, I imagine you do.
oh.
One.
Mhm. That
Yeah.
would be Papa Chumley. I will offer Jennifer a resolve token if Papa Chumley, if she goes to Papa Chumley and he's the one who helps take her away, and they go and spend time together in this interim. Oh,
She's
counter
got
offer.
4 resolve tokens, yeah?
Counter offer. Take in Selm.
Ooh. Take
I'm-
and Selm.
He does know how to get money when he needs it. He's very clever and he can teach Jennifer a lot of bad, terrible things.
Oh,
Or they can teach sorry, they
yes,
can.
yes. So we have 2 different people who would like to abscond with Jennifer to give her bad influences.
And Selm doesn't have any resolve tokens, but I'm willing to spend one on their behalf.
Mm-hmm.
She was gonna run away regardless.
But the question people want influence over her, is what I'm saying.
I just think it'd be funny if she
Mhm.
learned all the terrible things and Selm can teach her.
Mhm. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I'm all for it.
So this is how you pick a pocket.
So what is our Jennifer gonna do? We've got
I
complete
feel
resolve
like-
tokens here for you.
Oh, it's not gonna be Papa Chumley. She's getting away from all of her family.
Mhm,
The question
mhm.
is, does she strike out completely on her own at the tender age of 14? Or does
Mhm.
she... I think if she's seen Anselm around the town, then
He's everywhere.
Then yes, then she'll go with Anselm and go to London or something.
Mhm.
Somewhere
you can
exciting.
ditch them along the way somewhere. Just need to pick up a few fun skills first.
Yeah, a bunch of
Yeah.
sketchy skills.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Jenny will run off with Anselm.
Okay.
This is did not go where I wanted to technically, but I like where we ended up anyway.
Monologue token.
Oh. And then
So
she's almost full up on resolve tokens. That is...
So this will be
something.
a resolve token, a monologue token for our Charles at this moment when it becomes clear that Jennifer is missing.
God. Not just hiding in the Altringham's attic.
Gotcha. It's probably been a good fortnight.
The
since...
ghost
Yes.
of Papa Chumley's a little agitated too, probably.
Oh yeah. Ghost Papa Chum is not happy. 'Cause that's his little protege.
She taking lessons from someone else now. I think this is her rebellious phase. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
The curtains rise. The door that's kind of signifying the outside is open quietly, softly. It's not a lot of emotion behind it. And Charles walks in fully clothed from another day of searching, another day of finding no one and coming to terms with.
Sorry, there was a suggested chat of Samuel running away with Jenny instead of Anselm. But I think he'll stay because he's a good lad.
Yeah, I think Samuel would
Well,
be
he was asked to
heartbroken.
look after her. So
No, he'd be heartbroken because
He's gotta work
secretly
on
he
himself.
wants to leave with her. But he might actually be more if Jennifer leaves, he will be incentivized to try to find her.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
Carry on.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt. I just was like,
No worries. It's a
that's
fun
great
suggestion.
idea. Yeah.
Walking in, there's no music playing. There's no one else in the scene. Sits down at the desk, puts his bag down, takes his hat off, and just sits there. A long, deep exhale. Well, they have to leave the nest sometime. They have to spread their own wings and fly. Perhaps my cage, as gilded as it was just that, a cage. Did I not do enough as a father? Did I push too hard? Not push enough? I can only hope that there will be a day when I can get the answers to these questions. When the silence is not what answers back. Are you all right, Jenny? Are you safe? Are you hungry? Are you cold out there wherever you are? Have you found someone who makes you happy? Really, that's all I ever wanted, was someone to make you happy. I thought I could be that for a time, until you had grown. Looks off into the distance. I'll be here for you, Jenny. Whether you come in anger, in joy, with regrets, with love, I'll always be here for you. That's the least a father can do.
I think you smell your father's the lingering smell of your father's pipe tobacco.
Was it this hard for you too, Dad? Well, walks over to the desk. I can at least understand you a bit better now. Opens the bottom drawer, pulls out a hefty bottle of alcohol, pours out 1 glass, 2 glass, sets one in front of him, picks one up himself. To those who outgrow us, clinks. And that's the scene.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed. So that ends our passage of time. You may click on the side of your inner conflict that resolves for you, that hits for you, because you did. And so we go to upkeep. We've all aged already. Does anyone need to replace their desires?
Let me look at mine again. I had a long-term desire. I'm not sure if it's quite finished yet. Oh, yes, I would say yes.
I'm about to spend a fortune point that will resolve my short-term desire.
All right. Short-term or long-term?
Long-term.
Short-term.
Me.
Very nice.
I had to ensure the happiness of the one I love and wait for an opportunity to express my feelings. I think finally, it's all happened.
Yes.
I have a question,
Yes.
but it's a question for Lindy.
Oh.
Lindy, I put 3 desires on the board for you to choose from.
Oh, yeah.
If you will. And I'm going to,
Interesting.
Yutsa, I'm going to put 3 desires out there for you as well.
Do I get to flip them over, or do I have to pick based on the front?
No, you can flip them over.
Okay.
Well, you have to pick one first, and no, you get to sort of look at the back. No, pick front and then look over.
Okay. Oh, that's my old one, so...
Oh, thank you. I will
Yes.
delete it.
Yes, the one you just moved, so...
Thank you.
I'm tempted to go for the one that has the same name, but the different number, because that could be interesting if it follows a similar theme. Because it has the same front text as the one I just had. Let me read. And let other people look at their things.
My question for you, Lindy.
Yes, you had a question for me.
At the end of the time skip,
Yes.
have we gotten married?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then my immediate desire is done.
Mm-hmm.
Simon, I will give you 3 to choose from as well.
Thank you very much.
Do
I gain a fortune point for that, or I have to pay a fortune point for that?
No, you don't have to pay a fortune point for that. Your desire has now resolved itself.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you
and
say
I will
you're
now
happy?
change my name.
I'm sorry, I had to ask that before. Did I ensure your happiness, Simon?
Oh, this is important. Yes.
You have ensured my happiness.
Good, it's done then.
Done.
You can now call me Lord Roland Brazelton.
Oh, yes.
Which 3 are mine again? I'm not sure.
Yours in the bottom left.
Bottom left.
And mine are what, top left?
Top left, yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
I'll move mine into the...
Those are used for yours to choose from. Now, while you're thinking about your desires, as new desires have happened,
I've picked one. I'm going to flip it and see if I don't hate it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't look at mine.
Ooh, no, I think I got mine.
What?
I will say, after this, we will spend fortune points.
No.
Yes.
Did you accidentally get rid of your cards?
Sorry, I was supposed to be muted.
And then after we do our fortune cards, we will get rid of outdated connections and get new connections if we so need them. Yes, that is the next part. I would like to put out 3 people have gotten their desires fulfilled, either long or short term, which I'm very excited about. Also, I'm excited about that inner conflict, which will be happening soon, but not at the moment.
Yes.
By the way, Yutsai,
Yes.
I would just like to note that I do believe that your diary at some point has, in your handwriting, you know how it is, just Sophia is at fault for this.
Oh.
Yes. Just a note in your handwriting that that the loss of Jennifer is Sophia's fault.
I don't think I like the one I flipped.
All right, do the other one.
Another one, okay.
Choose what you have.
Just don't think it fits for the story I literally just told.
No. Well, then please do.
Yes. All right. I'll try this one.
I have a question. Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
I really like the one I got.
I don't.
Okay. Yes. Take it.
Yeah. It involves me needing to extend my family.
Okay.
Like, if you want to read it.
We don't know a lot about Roland's family.
Yes,
well,
it's fine.
No, but that's the thing. It's I feel like it would come out of left field.
No.
So instead of a parent,
okay,
could it be Anselm? Because if you read the rest of the card, he could also fit that role.
Absolutely.
Anselm was kind of like a parental figure.
Yes, a parental figure. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like blood related necessarily, but
I say yes.
Okay, cool.
I say yes. In which case, take it.
All right. Yes, I like this. I like this one.
Lindy, why do you have only one card?
What do you mean one card? Oh, because I finished my short-term desire at the trial, so I guess I need a new short-term desire as well.
Yes. So, Mark, which one is your long-term desire? And I will get you another 3 when everyone has chosen. Will you have you chosen your long-term?
Yes, I did.
Will you read out the front part, not the back part, for us all to know?
Yes, it's the same as this other one on the left, the front part. There are people who, the more you do for them, the less they will do for themselves.
Interesting. That is your short.
That's my long term.
That's your long term.
Yes, because we did my long term.
Yes.
Now I need a new short term one.
All right. I'm going to place 3 more cards for you up in the nugget area. The ones that you're not choosing, just delete them.
Okay. Yes.
So that we can. Good.
Up in the nugget area. I'll move them back down to this lower right hand corner where I was putting my.
You can just actually take them into your hand. The ones that you
can't see the backs though.
Oh yes.
No, that's a problem.
You have to put them on the. Yes.
Yes.
Which is why you just move them to a corner, then you don't let anyone else. Don't look in the corner.
I got my stuff.
You have yours. You have 3 desire cards. You should probably get rid of one of them.
Yeah, because one of them was already concluded.
Yes, yeah. And then just get rid of it.
There you go.
If the one
I'm sorry, Simon, would you read out your long and short-term desire so we can all know what the front is?
Well, my long-term hasn't changed. It's still our scars make us know that our past was real. And the new one is, my short-term, you know that I could as soon forget you as my existence.
Oh, that's an exciting one.
Charles.
Short-term ones.
The one I flipped over, like I can. It does feel like it's coming out of left field, perhaps.
Choose an alternate one.
Yeah, let me check the other one that's identical in prompt, but perhaps a bit different.
See which one gives you excitement. Perchance. I love when they get their desires, and then we get to look at them and see what kind of shenanigans are happening right there. As one does, Now, sadly, I don't know what we're going to get from Nugget when Nugget gets back.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet she's got some exciting stuff.
I know.
She always picks exciting things. She's just so exciting.
Yes. So.
Oh, Oh, I know which one
Yes?
I want.
I
Yes.
picked the short term as well.
What is Charles' short-term desire, the front side?
A large income is the best recipe for happiness I ever heard of.
Excellent. Delete your other desires and keep that one that is yours. Put it inside of your take it into your hand. If
My
you
new
right
short
click on
term.
it,
It's very
uh,
exciting.
if you right click on it, you can just actually take it.
It's
Yeah, you
very
take the card.
interesting because my short term desire
Mhm.
has its thing, but my long term desire, I have to decide something before the end of the next cycle of play.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
What is the front of that one?
The front of my new short term desire is our scars make us know that our past was real.
Oh, you and your husband both have like similar scarification.
Mine's literal. It's right here. It's a stake.
Yeah, you had a stake
Yes.
through the shoulder.
This one's exciting.
Oh, all right, all right. Secret desires, I'm into it.
Yes.
Everyone has their new desires, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Simon, Roland as well. Okay,
Yes.
Yeah, I have both.
excellent. Well then, we will look at that in a moment. Let us first start with this question. Do we have any contacts that are outdated and need to be removed?
I've got a couple dead ones, but I'm good besides that. And Jenny's
have-
off doing something.
Yes, you have Abigail, and you have only one connection.
Who's alive? Yes.
Yes, you should probably have another one.
Should I? I mean,
Yes.
I didn't know. We didn't add one in the last cycle, so.
No, you can. You spend a fortune point, to get a
Ah, I
new one.
see.
Those are things you can do. with
Oh,
your
I
fortune
am
point.
full up on fortune points, so I probably should spend one to make a new connection. Yes.
Yes, yes. Now, what about Roland? Do you have Anselm, who's clearly still
Will need to be
around?
around.
What about Enguerrand and Amastan?
Well, I feel like Amistan was underutilized, but also he was there for the con.
Yes.
He saw the whole thing and he was like,
Yeah.
"Look, that was the thing. Like he was there just to help me out. He got
Yeah.
paid. We probably stayed in touch, but he's gone back to Mali."
Okay. So we will delete him because he's gone back to Mali.
And I personally wouldn't mind if Enguerrand was, died of a heart attack, but I feel like a lot of you keep wanting to have him in the game.
No, he can be
I'm
dead.
indifferent.
He's your connect. We can have him out. Jennifer is still here.
If you kill him, it'll mean I'm not the only one with dead NPCs.
Sure. Well, I mean, we've killed off all the old people, so I mean,
We don't like this.
all right, move over, old man.
There's a new old man in town.
Jennifer still relevant. Samuel
Yes.
still relevant. Sophia.
Yes.
Mhm.
Ooh.
And Nuggets people are still relevant. All right then.
New
Is any
connection
just
do I want?
yes, and I think we should now at this point, before we allocate connections, use our fortune tokens.
Ah, yes.
Which involves, so I will note, for your fortune points, you can change your character role or their family background. You can create a new connection. You can change a connection's fortune, or you can establish a new relationship.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Of course, change your character's role or family background,
Mm-hmm.
create a new connection, or change a connection's fortune, or establish a new relationship.
I have two that I'm ready to do.
I'm here for it. What do we have?
Well, first, as the scene dictated, Samuel Crafton, I have now adopted. He is now legally my son.
Oh, okay. So Samuel Crofton is now new money.
Yes, and the second one would be I am switching from old money to new money.
Oh, because you have your new empire.
Yes, with Hattie.
Oh, very nice. I like that. I will make sure that I give you the new money in our Roll20 so that you may have it. Absolutely, that's very exciting. Roland,
Sup.
do you have some
I
fortune
did
points?
change my fortune. I used one of my 2 fortune points to change to new money because I
Oh.
felt that peerage was not quite there yet. He's
Mhm.
new at this. I figure, like later on, if Roland is still there and everything goes well, he would eventually turn into peerage.
Right.
But right
Excellent.
now, the things that came with peerage just didn't quite fit. I felt.
Right. All right. Lindy.
I'm making a new a new connection.
Go on.
They exist in this world. They
Yes.
breathe and things blink. Trying to think about what I need. We've killed my husband, my father. Still have my lady's maid.
Yes. Yes.
What do we need in this game? Haven't had any kids yet. So
That
you know.
is always a one that one could build fairly easily.
Well.
Well, not if you've been stabbed with a stake.
Yes.
Yes.
And we just had the time skip in which I said I didn't have any, so I think it'd be weird to just throw one in now, you know.
So well. I mean, I think we checked in a year before the current day.
That is true. We did check in. You know what? That's exciting. I think we're going to have a baby. Is that cool with you, Simon?
Sure.
Okay. Odds it's a boy, evens it's a girl. It's a boy!
The boy.
Oh,
Wait, we did a time skip of what? 4 years? 6 years?
5 years.
5.
So we have 6 children.
No.
Just one.
Just one.
one.
Just one. What are we gonna name our child? John W. James Brazelton?
Screw that.
Simon. Let's name him Simon.
Please don't. Horrible name.
It's a good.
What? It's a good strong name.
Y'all keep saying that, but like I don't think you know what I think it means. Let me search for
Oh, this puts the inheritance
Regency era French names.
Oh yes, I
But
mentioned that.
It doesn't, because boys cannot inherit the Brazelton line.
I guess that's true.
Yes, so
Mhm,
he could have a
mhm.
French name.
But if it were a girl, that would have been hilarious.
That would have been
Because
hilarious.
I just want it to be a girl, though, because I want conflict between Jennifer and the little baby.
No, it rolled a boy.
It's just too
so
bad. It's just bad.
I think it's perfect.
I don't have any.
Richard boy.
so
I'll say baby boy. That's his name for now until we get a good name, and then he is 0 years old.
Well, he'd be 1 by the time we get here.
Well, I
to
mean,
where we
he could be
finish.
like 6 months old. I don't know.
That's fair.
There's like an
That's fair.
incubation time of about 9 months.
This is fair.
Incubation time.
This is fair.
An incubation period.
Set the oven to 400 degrees.
Yeah, I can set the oven to 98.5, 98.6, and then bake in oven for 9 months, and then boop, little baby bun boy.
Baby boy.
So
Any
yes.
other?
I mean, if you keep talking like that, we're gonna name our son Croissant or something.
Nice.
Croissant.
Le Croix. Is there any other fortune points to spend?
I would like to spend a fortune point.
Please.
Now this is in pursuant of my short-term goal,
Yes.
so it's kind of weird, but I'd like to create some kind of effectively I want to create Charles like a out-of-town love interest who has nothing to do with any of the drama that's going on in town. Barely knows who Charles and family is.
Ooh, awesome.
What year are we again?
We'll be in 1821
21. Okay, thank you.
when we come back out of it. The coronation has not yet happened, and everybody is all up in arms about the Queen being distant, George being a hoe. And there's a lot of
All right.
uprisings and
His character bio is very simple because I will say he's 6 months old. So he thinks Violet is mama, and his description and further information is just a wee bab.
just a wee bab.
Yep. That's baby boy, who we will have a name for. At some point this session, we'll name him.
Yeah.
Let's make a poll.
I need to know about.
I
this
sent you a
love
message,
interest.
Lindy.
Oh, okay.
I
need to know
imagine
about
the
this
love
love
interest is probably one of
Ooh,
his very first
okay.
business contacts. Could women run their own businesses, or maybe
If they were widowed, very often,
then
yes.
perhaps a young widow had taken up where her husband died off at, and Charles was introduced to her as another person who was just entering the business, and by both of them screwing up and just learning the ropes, they grew close. It turned into him writing letters to her from time to time, her responding, and given some new ventures in barn mills, she has come to town to set up and see to the operation personally, but also not knowing that Charles's ventures have exploded and they are doing very well. She still considers him as another fledgling business person.
Okay, we need a name for her.
Simon.
Strong name.
Good jokes come in threes. Sorry, Simon.
Yes. And where is she from?
See, because it's my NPC and also someone I'm going to be romantically pursuing, probably, I feel weird coming up with her own details. So I'm going to leave most of that to you three.
Well, I mean, this is we are international at this point in time, right? We have the entire British Empire for trade.
She could be American.
She could be American. She could be from India. She could be. There's so many options here. So exciting. She could be. What about if she is from? Something very exciting. I think we should go with. What about the Caribbean? Right. So from the Americas, that could be exciting. I'm thinking America. She could be from the Caribbean, or she could be from India. Is what I'm thinking. Thoughts? Or she could be from working class stock in Liverpool.
All of these sound like great options to me. Once again, it feels weird that if I have input on choosing what the person I will be pursuing is.
Simon, give me your thoughts.
Hi, what?
Thoughts.
I was busy looking up names, so thoughts on what?
The background for Charles's new love interest, who's business oriented. I'm thinking working class Liverpool, which gives you sort of shipping, Caribbean, like British Virgin Islands, Jamaica, or India.
I like India.
I do too.
Okay. From India, we have it.
Northern or southern India? Because I feel like if you're dealing with trade, you would need to operate at least within probably, well, it'll be on the coastline, but the person doesn't need to come from there necessarily. It is your love interest, you said, right?
A potential love interest, yes.
Potential love interest.
They did business together when they were wee young business people. Also, do not trust Lindy's face right now, but I love it.
Why don't you trust my face?
Because you were making evil villain hands.
I wasn't. I was just making plotting hands. Not evil villain hands. There's a difference. There's a lot more with evil villain hands. You know, it's just.
I feel like we could name her Reka.
Yeah.
And we'll get a last name for her, like and we'll have her be yes, like a good probably some sort of dealing with shipping, because that'll be really good for our like trading things internationally, like spices, textiles. Yes, yes, I like it. All right.
Yeah, I was looking at places. Visakhapatnam is nowadays the largest industrial city in India, right on the coast of the Bay of Bengal.
So my question is, how old is she? Charles, that one's on you though. That's one.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking it'd be easy just to say the same age, but younger has meaning, older has meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say let's go with younger. It puts more of the we kind of touched on the themes of a woman being married sooner than later before they get too old. So
yeah,
if she's younger and she's also now like figuring out like the fun and the freedoms of like being a professional, making something of yourself. If she's younger, then she has a lot more. She has to decide because those are like the prime years. Yeah, if she dedicates part of that to being married again, that's going to be a sacrifice on her part.
So what are you thinking? 20?
How young without being creepy?
Look,
The Regency.
that was a lot bigger of a time back then.
What's the older rule? Double your age plus
+7.
But if she is like 29.
She's also a widower, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, if she's a widow, yeah, then there's no like time limit.
Yeah.
Well, we just say like 27.
Got it. All right. Take care of the rest of that. Does anyone else have any fortune points to spend?
We have a name.
Oh. What is it?
It's fancy because we're fancy. So the wee boy, baby boy, is Justinian Cassius Achilles Brastleton.
Oh,
very fancy.
Because back in those days, in France anyway, there was a big resurgence.
It was the same in England. Yeah.
Okay, big resurgence of classical names, except for Napoleon. Napoleon was also a very popular name, but I don't give a shit.
Fair. All right. Okay. If that is all of our fortune points,
people could have as many middle names as they wanted, so we said 2.
Do it. All right. So, everybody, refresh your monologue tokens. I will get my resolve tokens back because I need them, and I believe we will now ask this one question: does anybody progress their inner conflicts?
This is from the whole cycle, yeah?
So we will, yes, the whole cycle. Well, actually, for the second half of the cycle. Because
so the trial?
The trial and stuff? Yes, the trial.
Because we didn't do that after the trial. Yeah.
Let me ask you, heart versus duty. How is that going?
Well.
Would you look at your conflicts and let me know?
Sure could. You sacrificed something important to you for this. I think I did that for heart.
What did you sacrifice that was important to you?
My health, well-being, and a bit of reputation.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of that, actually. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
You hurt or pushed away someone important to you for this. I don't think I pushed anyone away.
Okay.
That was important to me. I pushed other people away, but I didn't care about them.
Okay.
Oh, you degraded your reputation or went against your conscience for this. I think I did degrade my reputation a little bit. Yes.
For heart, absolutely.
For heart. I didn't do a whole lot of duty this last round. Your actions in pursuit of this side destroyed your chance of successfully pursuing the other. No? Don't think so?
Fair.
I could still pursue duty because I'm a noble.
Well, yes, you haven't been,
ruined.
So you have not yet filled 6 boxes or 5 on one side, so you've not yet progressed.
No, I'm 3 on one side, 2 on the other, 5 total.
Yes, so one
It's
more.
probably happened this next cycle as I'll fulfill something.
Yes. Or be mixed. Roland, how about you and ambition versus greed?
So the thing is I had completed my inner conflict right before.
Yes.
Wow, right
Yes.
before the trial.
Yes.
And I wasn't there when we did the trial.
No, but you were for passage of time.
I was. Okay, if we're counting that,
Yes.
did I take action in the pursuit of this? Action were taken, but not by me. I'm not the one who asked Violet to marry me. But it did lead to this.
Well,
I haven't
you did follow through on it.
Yes, I guess that could count as like ambition. Ambition
Yeah.
plus 1.
Yeah.
I haven't sacrificed anything to either ambition or greed. Have I pushed away someone important to me for this? Not yet. If I degraded my reputation, absolutely not. I am now a lord. And did it destroy my chance of pursuing the other?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because I'm finally with Violet. And I'm happy. And the selfishness that could have gone into, I deserve her because of blah, blah, blah that I went through and all that. Well, no, that was nipped in the bud.
Oh.
So like, it's not ambition either. Like that part just can't happen anymore in my mind.
The ambition part or the greed part?
That one side could destroy the other. Because I mean, the ambition part could have won.
Yes.
But I would say not yet. Like the greed part has been destroyed. But I don't feel like the ambition part deserves to be checked yet because I haven't done anything. Fair. Even during that time skip, I don't feel like Roland has done enough.
Fair. All right. Charles.
Skipping to the ones I feel apply.
The many versus the one.
Yes, the many versus the one. So I was willing to degrade my reputation to help other people.
Yeah.
It didn't end up happening because I countered with the rumor offer, but I'm not sure if that counts technically.
Oh, well, you didn't count like that the reputation is out there that you're perhaps have gone a bit mad. It's just that you didn't take it back. You just yes-anded it. I would say. Yes?
Yes. So would that apply to the many or not?
Did you allow your reputation to be degraded in order to help the many? I don't know if you did. I don't know if your reputation was degraded, although I'd want to see what the rest of the table thinks about that.
For the many? Yeah, what actions?
Taking the reputation, taking that people think now that he's mad, and also
yeah, that would degrade your reputation.
But he did this in order to pursue the many versus the one, which would be supporting his daughter. Yes.
Yeah, supporting my daughter, making peace with my ex-wife.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last one, your action pursuit of this side destroyed your chance of successfully pursuing the other.
See, this is where the many versus one is a little broad, because
did you make sacrifices in order to support the many that makes it difficult for you to actually get the individual goals that you want, or vice versa?
Well, I have decided until my daughter returns to Barn Mills, I'm not leaving. So
And is
it may
that
apply.
for the many or for the one?
No, that's so I can be here for her when she gets back.
Ah, oh, nice. I'll take it.
Yes. And I've hit the 6 threshold, but I also definitely
Yes,
pushed away someone important to you for myself.
yes,
I have pushed away my ex-wife because I will not
yeah,
marry
yeah,
into a marriage I
yeah.
don't believe in just so she can save her
All
face.
those ticked
Yes,
boxes.
absolutely. So you progress your inner conflict. Would you like to, at this moment, give us a small vignette about how you move forward uh, from this moment, especially since you're going to be getting a new one?
Yes. Reading a book, shirt open, enjoying the spring breeze or whatever time of year it is. It's calm in Barn Mill. You can see the wind blowing against the grasses and that satisfying rush that seems to form waves of an ocean green. And he's in the middle of a novel, just trying to focus, trying to spend some time to relax between meetings, between reassuring, no, I'm not crazy. It's just a rumor. And he just can't get into it. So he stops, he sighs as he kind of falls back and just fully like if he's making a snow angel, just spreads out and closes his eyes, kind of reminiscing about simpler times, being a child, the first moments when his daughter was born, the times when he, Sophia, and Jenny were happy together. And then he like looks up at the tree that's giving him shade, and he starts to see himself as this tree, as a strong central oak or whatever's appropriate for the area. And these many leaves and tree limbs that seem to branch out and spread out, and how this tree, by being a strong core, helps foster all these other branching paths and these leaves that can spin off and fly off on their own, stay close at home where they're still growing and nourishing off him.
Mm.
He takes, and for a moment, he does also recall his earlier days of just anything that makes him happy is what he's after. He doesn't care about anything else. And he just like, I think it's one of those like inner, very soft, private moments where he just kind of shuts the door on that part of his life. And he's like rededicating himself to being someone that other people can rely on. And kind of repaying the times where other people were there for him and what kind of man he wants to be.
And I imagine while you're there, you are probably perhaps you have a newspaper and you hear about all the sort of unrest, uprisings, and sort of the world conflicts that are happening. And perhaps you wonder what your daughter is doing at this moment and where she is.
On the front lines now.
On the front lines, let me ask you, what is your new inner conflict?
How do I make one of those? Do I just kind of like make something up, or
you decide? What do you think is going to be the thing wherein? Oh, and please take 2 fortune points, fortune tokens.
Nice.
What do you think now at this moment, as your daughter is missing? You have no idea. People think that you are perhaps a bit mad, that your wife has left for the moment. She may return. You are perhaps in a good space, although somewhat a little bit unstable. Reputations are important. What do you think?
I think something that's definitely like tying these things together is the idea between trusting that things will turn out for the best, or trusting in people to do the right thing, versus taking an active hand or controlling the situation to the best of his ability.
So letting go versus control.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That is a good one. And so we have only one phase left in this cycle, but that I think we should take after our short break. And when we come back, we will do the epistolary.
The epistolary. We shall do that in just a moment. This has been very exciting so far, and I cannot wait. So
I've got letters. And by the way, just so you know, the epistolary will happen in 1821. We have now fast-forwarded to the present moment.
Woohoo!
Hmm. Yes, and you can 2 letters, or you can also pay a resolve token to get a letter.
Yes. Wonderful. Let's go on break.
Mm.
And we're back. Hello and welcome, everyone. I hope that it wasn't sitting on the timer being done for too long. I was drinking tea and eating candy and talking about desires. But we are back and we are ready to do our next phase, I believe, in Good Society. So that's very exciting.
It's our last phase in this cycle, our third cycle. And I am doing the timing like this on purpose because I want Nugget to be here for the start of our fourth cycle. So we have the epistolary. And in our epistolary, everyone gets to have 2. And you make 2 of the following, from the following options. Right, you can write a letter, you can write a journal entry, you can describe a dream or a nightmare, or you may have a weather interlude. And everyone's refreshed their monologue tokens and all that. Yes, good, yes. Good. Okay. Does someone have one to go first, or shall I?
Oh no, whenever you go first, something bad happens.
I know.
Does it? Does
Yes.
it? Does it?
It doesn't have to
Yes.
be my character, does it?
It could be
It's just
either you or
anyone
someone
that
you
I
control.
play.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can also spend a resolve token to receive a letter from someone who could be someone that you don't control.
Oh, I might have one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It would be a weather interlude.
Please do.
Ooh.
A vignette. Very short. Again, dark and
Is-
stormy night.
Is the inspector? I'm just asking.
There's lightning outside. The low growl of thunder, and we see just the camera inside the Brazelton estate. Pans up the giant staircase that leads upstairs to the rooms, and it moves into Violet and Roland's bedroom, as we see just this hand holding a kitchen knife. And it rears back as the camera also pans back, and you see the baby with the kitchen knife. No, I'm fucking. I have zero ideas. I was just riffing. We're doing the Maggie episode of The Simpsons. No, but in all seriousness, I would have one, and it's very short though.
Okay.
It's a vignette. I don't think it would be related to the weather or anything like that. But it's just we see Violet, Roland, and
Wait, no, this is the epistolary. It has the
we need.
Yeah, this is the epistolary. It's either letter, journal entry, dream or nightmare, or a weather interlude.
But weather interlude can be a thing. So okay, it's going to be a weather interlude then.
Which type of weather?
Yes, that's important.
It is going to be.
Is it dawn? Day?
Daylight dawn.
Oh.
Like a bright dawn in the garden.
Oh.
And it's just the 3 of us. Just me standing up, you sitting on a chair holding baby what's his face. I'm searching for the name very quickly.
Justinian Cassius Achilles Brazelton. We'll wrap up this octopus as the baby.
Yes. baby Justinian. Yeah, just like that. And slowly this image of this happy family turns to a painting. And it's just the first, we're going to pan back, and this is our first family portrait that we've had painted of us happy before Trooper ruins everything.
I can't believe you think that I would do that, even though I do have some letters, but I mean...
It is a happy time, a happy morning.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and it's just us without a care in the world.
Mhm.
Violet is feeling well. At
Mhm.
least if she's still sick, it's like just a feeling well for today type of deal. Baby Justinian didn't even cry.
Mhm.
He's all like goo goo gaga and cute faces. And yeah, there's not even like a mosquito to bother us while we're keeping the pose up.
Oh, that seems so great, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll
I just want
be
one good
like
thing
that.
to happen to our family. That's all.
Cool.
That's all.
Cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have one.
oh, okay, fine. Then I won't do mine just yet. Go ahead.
I have a journal entry.
Oh, by whom? Whose journal entry?
Dear Diary, I have been very much enjoying my travels on the road. Right now, we are in Bath. It is very exciting. I am learning so many things. Things that, well, Aunt Harriet may not approve of, but they are very fun, very exciting, and I am getting more of an idea of what I want to do with my life. Things are good. I do miss home. Papa. Mama a little bit too, I guess. Grandpapa. Aunt Harriet. My cousins. I guess, just the other people of Bartonsmere. But I'll go back one day. But first, I have things I need to do. I need to live my life and be free. And, well, maybe I'll write a letter. We'll see. Only when I'm on the move again. And then, yeah, does some doodles about some things that she's been doing.
All right. Yutsai,
I have a letter I'd like to send.
please.
Scene. Charles, usually very eloquent, has the words he needs at a moment's notice. Uncharacteristically, just staring at a page. The ink on his pen has dried at this point, and it's just writes a little bit, stops, crumples up the paper, and just chucks in the fire. Why is this so hard? Just like normal, Charles. Dear Reka, I have heard of your ventures in the Barn Mill area and would like to welcome you when you arrive. Is that pushy? It sounds pushy. I remember our times under the thumb of my sister and our other tutors, learning the ways of business, and through our highs and lows, you have always had the sharpest wit, the caring heart, and the thumb on the scale. I look forward to meeting you once more. Your friend. Shit, should I have said friend? Fine. Your friend, Charles Way.
I have a letter.
Mm-hmm.
It's to Charles.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Chuck it in the fire. Never happened. No, go ahead.
Dearest Charles, I'm so happy to have received your letter. It brings me great joy to hear of you, and I'm happy to know that you're in Barden Mill. I am indeed coming into the area. Well, perhaps you might be able to help me. There's a very rich family there, the Chumleys, who have some businesses that are ripe for overtaking. They, of course, being in shipping, but not much has been heard of their business recently, although they are of somewhat of ill repute. And I'm expecting to be able to add their ships to my fleet and to expand on my business. And I thought that you, might be able to introduce me to some of these chumleys or work behind the scenes to
Okay.
give me information about them. I thought that we could be a good team together, taking down this shipping family that perhaps doesn't deserve whatever wealth they might have. It would be one of the first things we could do as budding business people at the beginning of our careers. And I will even let you come in on it with me if you like. So I'm hoping that when I arrive, you might be able to introduce me to society there, and especially where the Chumleys are, and we might be able to take over the entire thing together. There's like you can tell the ink pools a little bit, friend, as if she hesitated a little bit.
I love the small details. I know what I need. I know what I need to do for my next epistolary.
Because she does not know that you're a Chumley.
Right,
because
right.
you have never used that last name.
And I don't want her to know I'm a Chumley.
But there are
Oh.
famous Chumleys. People know about the Chumleys, and somebody's going to come in there and take care of that business. Yes. Does anyone else have any?
Has everyone gone once? Because I have one ready.
Yes, everyone has gone once.
Okay.
Go for it.
Dear Roland, comma, I need a favor. Pray remember the sweet nights we had together, the fond memories and the mutual respect and care we share with one another, comma, though our paths may diverge, I hope you still hold those memories fondly. I have the fortune of someone coming into my life that I wish to keep a part of it, comma, however, she is not familiar with the histories that we share. And by histories we share, I mean that of my upbringing and the old coins that surrounded us so. Let me be frank. I wish for you to play the part of the Chumley representative. You always had a knack for such roles. And if I remember correctly, took a secret glee when passing a performance well. Please do this for me, my old friend. Yours fondly, Charles Way.
I have to know if Roland tells Violet about this letter.
Oh, that's a good one. Wait, let me get this straight. You want me
I want
to play? Yeah, go ahead.
Chumley.
I want you to pretend to be a Chumley or the Chumley. She already
The
knows
Chumley.
Hattie. She already knows me, and she does. And we neither of us use the Chumley name.
That is correct.
Oh, so I would be
I'm gonna do
Mr.
the smart
Chumley.
thing.
You know, the famous Mr. Chumley of Chumley
Yeah.
shipping.
I'm going to
Yeah,
do the
okay.
smart thing and create an elaborate ruse to lie to the person I want to eventually fall in love with. It's the only sensible direction.
Can I reply to your letter?
Absolutely.
It's just one word. Trooper said it. Absolutely. Period. That's it. There's no like, my dear Charles or whatever. Like you can feel in the ink that he just didn't even think twice, took the paper down and just wrote absolutely and then sent it off your way. Probably gave it to Samuel.
But did you tell me?
He hasn't had his time. He hasn't had his time acting in a while. I feel like he needs.
Yeah.
He's got that itch. You know. to get back
I
on the
left my
boards.
hand. The ink is still wet from being written down like 2 minutes ago.
Did someone just bang me?
It was.
Oh, I thought it was a cat. I will tell one thing to Violet.
Okay.
I will say that Charles needed my help with something. I can't really say anymore,
Oh,
but I promise you it is not illegal. But I feel that for Charles...
Since the Chumleys asked you to impersonate a Chumley, it's not really illegal. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I will say...
It's permitted identity theft, it's not...
Yeah, I'll tell Violet that I feel like the less amount of people know about it, the better it'll be for Charles.
Right?
But do not worry. It's not like I was going to go on a ship to India.
would. That's quite a far ways away. Interesting.
No,
interesting.
Charles needs me to.
Hmm.
I wish I could tell you more, but I just got offered a job. I got
fine.
offered
That's
work
fine.
with Chumley Shipping Manufacturing. I don't know what the name of the company is.
I have a question,
Mm-hmm.
Trooper.
Yes.
This darling, lovely Reka woman, I
Mhm.
believe her name is.
Yes.
Does she have a place to stay in Barden's Mill?
Oh, I feel like
It's a very
that-
small town. We imagine that the inn is.
Well,
I mean, usually if anyone's important, they stay at one of the important people's houses.
she's not important just yet. Now, is she?
Oh, I see. I see. Is she not? I see.
She's not.
She would.
She's not nobility important.
Gotcha. Okay. That was something I had to know.
She probably would stay with Hattie since they were introduced when Hattie was educating the both of them.
She's a married
folks.
woman. Yes. Yes. Yes.
She's
Yes. Who's?
widowed. Well, Reka is.
Oh,
You don't
I thought
know
you
that,
meant
Hattie.
Hattie. And I was
No.
like, what? That's a
No.
twist. What
No.
happened in those 5 years? What did she message you? I was about to, like... whew.
But speaking of, I have another letter.
Okay, we read that letter then.
I will, and then I've got to. You two also get to have letters, of course. But I
Yes.
have a letter. To Lady Brazelton.
Knew it. But who is it from?
Countess of
Mm-hmm.
Countess Brazelton
Mm-hmm.
of Barden Mill.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice stationery.
Oh, how nice.
Yes. If you don't mind,
Exquisite.
I suppose I just need to look up one thing because this is what's wrong with me. I do need to know these things.
Yes. Yes.
There's what I'm looking. No, oops, so wrong one. Wrong Duke. Pardon me.
Oh,
Wrong Duke. North. There we go. Who is currently the Duke at this moment? Our current Duke is. No, that's 1930, 1867. Yes. You get a letter from Hugh Percy, the third Duke of Northumberland, who is, after all, your boss, as it were,
mm-hmm.
above you.
Yes.
Dearest Countess, it is with a heavy heart that I write you this moment. As you know, there has been quite a bit of unrest in the north, especially in Scotland with the radical war of last year that resulted in so many executions. We need good leadership, and it is the duty of each peer to provide such leadership. You, as one of the gentle sex, of course, should not be expected to do such things. From Barden's Mill, Captain Altringham, of course, has been a fine example as serving the dragoons, but of course, that is something he can no longer do. And Lord Gilles, being the highest sheriff, of course, is also not available to lead troops. But it is our understanding that your husband, Lord Brazelton, has a military career. It would be,
Sorry.
I write to you, as your Duke, to ask that you fulfill your duty to take care and secure the safety of this area by convincing your husband to join military service, to serve the crown and the safety of all. After the coal mining uprisings of earlier this year, we're going to need people who are able to, good quality, who can lead our soldiers in the internal domestic struggles and also seek out and root out all enemies, foreign and domestic. So, please, I ask you as the Countess to encourage your husband to join our fine forces. I'm sure he's no stranger to danger. Yours always, Hugh Percy, the third Duke of Northumberland.
boy.
Baron of Warkworth, Baronet of Stanwick, Earl
Yeah.
of Northumberland, Earl of Percy.
Yeah.
Mm.
The usual line of
Yes,
titles
the
that accompanies
usuals,
afterwards. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Oh boy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Heart versus.
I just couldn't convince him. It must be because I'm such a frail woman. No.
And not, oh, well then, that might have some problems, wouldn't it?
I know.
If you can't do your job.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah, it's sort of implied that because you're in charge, you're gonna do it. You're gonna get him to do it.
Yeah. I'll be so
That's
happy
my
he
letter.
just got this little job. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
helping out Charles.
Mm-hmm.
I think when did I get this letter? Is it before or after he got the letter from Charles, or around the same time?
After. It's
Okay.
around the same time. It's like,
Okay. Yes. I just nonchalantly ask him over dinner how long he thinks this thing with Charles
By the
will
way,
take.
I will just note this. In these last 5 years, I am sure, because I have spoken to Nugatosaurus, she has told you about the terrible things that these soldiers have been doing in terms of shooting down. Like, it is up. It is a thing. There are a number of riots that have been happening, usually because people are not getting paid in any kind of decent way, which then results in, like, there was the Cinderloo uprising I imagine we're probably going to start in 21, but probably sort of May-ish, around then, probably around that sort of moment, maybe a little bit later. But in February, there was a big uprising in a coal field where, again, the yeomanry just fired on people protesting because they were getting a huge pay cut. There was a big, huge pay cut. So all these miners just got less money, and they complained about it, and they got shot. So this is happening quite a lot. And you know that it's not great, right? This sort of, you know that Leslie is not doing well, sort of from those things, but also this wasn't really a request. Go
Is
on.
there like a deadline on this request, or is it just as soon as possible?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Wants your husband to become a good soldier, a good officer.
Yes. He gets to skip the leg grunt work.
Oh yeah, come on now. he's married to a peer.
He doesn't get to be a foot soldier. That's good at least.
He gets to be in charge of those things.
Yeah,
That's my
with
letter to
all
you.
of that
Go ahead.
military experience he has.
Well,
being
here's
an
the thing,
actor.
though. I don't know if you know this. If you're noble, you're just going to be successful in these things. The blood will out.
Oh, yes.
yes,
He didn't
it's just-
just marry into nobility. Sure. Yes. All right, that's your letter then. All right.
That's my letter. I want to
Oh,
give you things because I want to give you joy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Mhm,
Yes. I've made note of this.
Mm-hmm. That gives Simon or Lindy.
Yes.
You two have your epistolary,
Mm.
which would be a letter, journal entry, dream or nightmare.
Oh, I
or
think I have
weather
a
interlude.
nightmare.
Please.
She's dreaming that she's having a normal day at house. Their son, little Justinian, Cassius, Achilles, Braselton. He's like a toddler. He's adorable. Probably just like hanging out of her skirts as she walks about the house a bit. And there's a knock at the door, and she goes to open the door. It's someone from the military. And they've come to let her know that her husband's died in one of these riots. And she's just devastated in her dream. And she wakes up for a little bit. Oh, he's still there. Okay. She goes back to sleep. Sounds a little, it just kind of repeats through different ways. Like in one, he makes it home to the door, but then collapses on the doorstep, dying in her arms, just blood. Bullet wounds and all sorts of things. There's a pitchfork through him in one. It's just yes, that's her night all night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There you go.
Simon, You're muted.
Can I also have a dream?
Absolutely.
Because, you know, we're happy together.
Yes.
We're so happy.
And there's got to be like an underlying level of anxiety. And so if you're having these nightmares, Roland,
She definitely wakes up with a start with each one. And then like taps to make sure you're there and then goes back to bed.
And I think if you're not looking, like he is stark awake, like because of a nightmare he just had. Because in his dreams, we can never stay together too long. Something happens and I'm being sent away.
You're gonna
There's
hate
this one dream. There's this one dream where Inspector Grills finally gets me, throws me into a like an armored wagon, a prison wagon.
Yeah.
And I'm being carted off to the colonies to be tried and executed. And then you marry Thumity. What was his name?
Tomothy.
Tomothy?
Yeah, Tomothy. Yeah.
Tomothy. Yes.
The peasant.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like,
because I'd like to
and if
imagine that Lord Gilles is married by now, being the High Sheriff.
Yes, he would have to be married by now.
Yes.
I mean, he is. Yes, he's 32. Absolutely, he has to be married now.
And like, yeah, I said Grill, and I meant Gilles.
Yes.
There are other times where it's just, you know, we're eating, and then there's a knock at the door, and I get up to go open the door, and when I do, I'm immediately like put into shackles by the inspector. And every time it's like there's no possibility for me to explain anything. It's like, you know, the thing of I don't have a mouth, but I want to scream.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
We're so happy. We're having all of these nightmares at night.
Yeah, that's it. But that would be it. And the worst part is, I think the worst nightmare is yeah, let's go that route. I'm going to be executed, guillotined, and
French style.
Yeah, because, you know, in my French mind, that's how we execute people. And they're offering you a choice. To save me, they could execute Justinian for my crimes.
Oh.
And like, I keep telling you not to. But I always wake up before the choice is made.
Ooh.
Can I add to one of your deaths?
Justinian's adorable, by the way. He's just...
Oh yeah, no, he's never going to die, ever. What is it, Trooper?
So I feel like we're going to have to start after May. We're going to have to pick up 1821 because we want to get close to all the terrible things that happened then. But I feel like one of the things that happens in May is that Napoleon dies in exile. Yes, he does, right? In that sort of in St. Helena. And I feel like maybe in one of your dreams, you are Napoleon in exile. Right, like,
they've sent me to like carted off to like Saint Helena. Yeah,
and like it's right, because that's a British overseas territory, right? So like you get sort of sent. So like I imagine like the news of Napoleon's death and how people think he might have been murdered, right? It's all very still unclear how he died, but he was carted off and sent to this exile. And I like to imagine that perhaps in one of your dreams, you are like, especially because it's been in the news, right? That you are somehow conflated with Napoleon.
And of course, like the way I see it in St. Helena is, you know, I'm in like a jail cell, like I was in the village, where in reality, like Napoleon had like the run of the island, and he was treated like fucking royalty. Like who the hell cares?
Right. Yeah. So I imagine it's the cell that you had in the town, but like you're in. So I imagine there's this kind of like a
On an island. Yeah.
yeah, right. But the point, of course, being that you've been sent away, right? That you've been pulled away, right, in this sort of exile. And yeah, so if you would allow me to have a little bit of Napoleon bleeding into your dreams. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just, being sent away. Does everyone has done their second.
Yes.
Everyone has done their second. That concludes the cycle. Cycle 3 is done. Cycle 4 is 1821. We'll pick up probably, June, July, something like that. A nice, good summer, a nice summer time period in 1821. And I feel like that is where we're going to end it, because I know we'll have everybody back next week. Yes. Yes. Let's go around.
Wonderful. Yes. So, we go around. We're going to say who we are, where we can find you, and what your favorite moments from tonight's game was. We'll start with our facilitator, Trooper. How was tonight for you, Trooper?
Oh, we got to go and fast forward through time. We got to have our passage of time. We got to have some letters. We got to have some advancements of inner conflicts and new desires. That was very exciting for me. And I'm going to make sure everybody's inner conflict just comes out and hangs out with them next cycle. That's going to be my goal. Everybody's inner conflict's going to happen. And yes, control over. Yeah. I'm excited for it. One of my favorite moments. Oh gosh. Okay, I have so many favorite moments.
You can pick more than one. Just throw them out there.
Oh, okay. Well, one.
I don't want to limit you.
Yeah, I don't. One. Jennifer leaving. Right. But that was very exciting. But like the whole thing, like the doctor coming in.
I've thought of a new motto for her life for when she comes back. I'm very excited.
YOLO? YOLO?
No. It's good though.
Oh, nice.
I'll message it to you.
Oh, nice. Let's see. I want to say that I loved Violet's nightmares. Lovely. Charles asking to have the sort of like the adoption circle right there was wonderful, and like that sort of place trying to secure everybody's future. But I think also I'm very excited about Charles's like further. This is weird to say that his grappling with his relationship with his father, I think, is really interesting, because he had always just really complicated relationship with his father. And I like the way he keeps revisiting that relationship in light of his relationship with his daughter. That was very lovely, that sort of moment with his dad ish. Also, Roland with the flowers. Like everybody here's everything is just like full of joy and happiness, and I'm just very glad that nothing bad's going to happen. And also, the Gates of Chaos is on St. Helena, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah, oddly enough, Google Maps doesn't even have pictures of it.
Oh, bummer. Oh, and
But
you can find me. I can't say about Friday, but you can find me on Sunday at 2 p.m. over on. Simon's going to tell you exactly the channel that it will be, where I will be doing a D&D game, a charity game, and Simon is going to be GMing it, as far as I know. And also, it's going to be, and I'm playing a character you can't even believe. I can't either. I mean, it's insane. It's wild. It's out there. And yeah, so that's me.
You're playing a lawful neutral human fighter.
Nice. What's my name though? And is it Engelbert?
Well, I mean, if it needs to be so incredible, I think I'm just going to call you Bob the Fighter.
Nice. Sweet. I'm into it. That's me.
Thank you very much. We also have Roland Brasselton Simon, how are you tonight?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Just how are you this evening? How is tonight for you?
No. How did you call me?
Oh, Roland Brasselton.
Yeah, no. I think you're missing something.
Lord Roland Brasselton.
Thank you. I
There
didn't
you
work
are.
my ass off for this.
Was that ambition that I saw there? Go on.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Simon at Wandering DM. I was the person that kept coughing and blowing my nose throughout the stream. Moment that I loved. Ooh. All of the scenes that I wasn't in, I really enjoyed. But in fact, if I can say, the moment that I loved today about our game is not from this session, but from the last one, because I was catching up on the VOD.
Oh, yes.
Holy shit, was that a drama-filled fucking courthouse. I loved it.
Thank you, chat, for voting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for deciding that the worst sentence ever should be to get married. It tells me a lot about who you are, chat. With that said, I love Charles, that letter. Yes, so much yes. Even Simon is like, yes, let's see what we can make out of this. And then we have a sweet baby that will probably be the bane of our existence. That's also yay. Other than that, the more I speak, the worse it gets. You can find me. Where am I? Saturday for Scion at 1 p.m. Eastern on my channel. And oh no, that might not happen because Saturday I'm actually GMing a game over. So for this, it's the Stream to End MS for the basically the MS Society stream channel, and we're running a bunch of charity games all throughout the weekend. And on Saturday, I have a game that I feel like I can talk about it, but I'm going to be GMing a Witcher game with none other than the actual Geralt of Rivia and Dandelion the Bard. What? So, yes, John Schwab and Doug Cockle are going to come back reprising their characters from the video game franchise. Sweet. As well as Kelly and Justin, who are going to be playing Triss Marigold and Yorvith. And it's going to be fun times, and we're going to have like tons of giveaways and cool stuff. And also it's just going to be a very cool afternoon. So I believe we'll have to skip on Scion this week because of that, because I think the two of them kind of overlap. But I need to all confirm that. Anyway, I'll tell everyone on my Twitter when that happens. And then on Sunday at 2 p.m., like Trooper said, it is my totally prep, not at all improvised D&D game. That's the title of the game, where I will take 4 players, 3 of which are chosen in advance. You'll get to know them when we announce it. But 1, and you still have an hour for that if you want to. Let me link, if you're interested, link the tweet. Because there's still exactly 55 minutes right now to bid if you want to have a seat at the table for this game. The current bids are going at $110, and this all goes to the MS Society.
So this is this is an auction where if you win the bid,
you play in the game
to charity, and you get to be in a game GM'd by you. That's amazing.
I know, right?
That's amazing.
I still cannot believe that people are willing to do that. It's a very strange feeling. But yes, the game is going to be hilarious. Of course, it's going to be sort of a comical comedy game, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. At least I hope, because it is totally improvised. But I do have a vague idea of what I want to do with it, and it's also going to test my GMing skills. Then after Sunday, it's Monday, August 29th, which Trooper forgot to mention, but is the premiere of our Montreal by Night Vampire the Masquerade stream that serves as a prequel to the hit board game / RPG Vampire the Masquerade chapters that I've worked on. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. That's all I can say. And then, and then next Wednesday, I'll be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'd also like to thank Charles Way for being here tonight. Yutsai, how are you?
Doing all right. Hi, I play Charles White, Yutsai. You can find me at the @ on Twitter, where I don't post often, but I'm trying to be more social because that's important for this kind of stuff. I'm also in one of a game on Simon's channel, The Wandering DM, Hill Country Horror, I believe. It's on Thursdays at 8 p.m. CST. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
8:30.
8:30. Thank you for correcting me. But yeah, it's a horror game, which is different, and I usually make a lot of jokes under horror, and then I die horrifically because humor doesn't protect you from the horrors that lie within. So yeah, if you want to see me play a cantankerous old man who doesn't think YouTubing isn't a real job, go and check it out tomorrow. Oh, and I am also, if anyone's interested, I do also run games for Magpie for their curated play program, and they have just released a new set of games. So if you're interested in any of Magpie Games' collection, which consists of Avatar, Masks, A New Generation, Bluebeard's Bride, they have listed a bunch of those, and I am running one game because I don't have a lot of time this month. But there's a lot of talented people over there who are great at what they do, and if you are looking for a guaranteed good experience, I highly recommend you check it out.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. And did you say your favorite moments from tonight, or?
Oh, yes. Well, you came out with a left hook with the adoption suggestion, which is, I think, that did come up briefly once before, but it was quickly discarded. So that was awesome to see again. And that really, pressed me into some thoughts I was having about like, I don't have to be the person that's controlling everything, or do I? So that's what birthed my new inner conflict. And then also Trooper hitting me with my ex-wife being a terrible person, which I wasn't sure completely if that was the case, but like the doctor bribery and taking the daughter thing kind of makes me believe that more.
She doesn't think you should have that child, really. That doesn't necessarily make her a bad person.
Well, the bribery part's kind of sketch.
Well, everybody in town's been talking about how you've been losing your mind. So, I'm just saying.
Rumors.
Rumor has it.
Also, though some of this was only in like the private in-game chat, love to see just Simon just like, wow, it's such a nice change to be happy for once. Like, this is great. Why don't we do this more often? just openly taunting the storyteller to just come and.
By the way, I just accidentally fell and dropped the link to the game that you're running on September the 3rd through the curated play on Magpie Games into chat in case anybody wants to play it in that game that's September the 3rd.
Oh, well, thank you. I completely forgot I could do something like link something, so.
I didn't.
So yeah, bunch of great moments. Looking forward to having Nugget back with us next week.
Yes, we missed her. We missed her and her sassy comments. Hope you get your power back soon, because this has been several hours of air conditioning in Florida, and I feel for you. So that leaves just me, Laugh Love Lindy. My favorite moments tonight. Trooper was like, "But I need to know. It's been 5 years. Have you had kids?" I was like, I'm getting there. One moment. just, you know.
You might have forgotten.
No, I don't forget. I also loved Roland's little vignette of us just getting a happy family portrait in the garden. Just like, oh, look, we're so happy for once. Followed immediately by both of us having nightmares. About the terrible things that can happen because we're happy, but it can't last for long, surely. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I missed Nuggetosaurus terribly. And what else? Oh, I am so looking forward to meeting this lovely Lady Reka who wants to take down the Chumleys. I'm so excited about meeting her, and I hope we get to do that next week. Speaking of next week, we've got a schedule of things where you can find here on the Laugh Love Lindy channel. I almost said network, but that's kind of a lie. I don't have a network. We could call it a network for funsies. We may have aliens on Saturday. Travis has kind of fallen off of the face of the earth during his move, but I will harass him via phone call if necessary. That's a thing. But if it is, we'll post about it. If it's not, we won't say anything. So just keep your eyes peeled about possible aliens game. Well, however, for sure on Monday we'll be back with a new episode of The New Batch, where we're going to investigate a mysterious blight and a lake where hands drag people under, or people don't emerge except for their hands that crawl out. There's a lot of superstitions. We're a little nervous about it, and I think it'll be fun. It's a little spooky bit while we do some investigating. And then on Tuesday, I believe next Tuesday will be the last episode of our little mini-series, Quest for the Heart, because let me tell you, they're almost through the tower. It's getting real close. It would surprise me if it took 2 episodes, but, you know, it could. So I will say it's probably the finale of that little mini-series next week. And then back on
Are they going to find the heart?
Oh, yes.
Hey,
If they
can I guess what it
survive.
is? Can I guess what it is?
Sure.
It's a stag.
It's a guess.
That's like Bambi. Like, it's like Bambi.
Like Bambi.
Right?
I'm sure
Yeah.
it'll bring them as much joy as Bambi brings people. The movie Bambi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so that'll be next Tuesday, and then we'll be back here next Wednesday for more Upon the Hexhamshire Moors, with hopefully everyone present. So thank you very much, and until next time, have fun and play games.